Okay. Um, Hi, Bonnie, and hi, all the members. I'm Kathan. Good to see you. So it was a beautiful performance by of Astronomy High. Just we completed, and it's good to see you all again here. So this is the first roundtable conference of this GHOU 2021. So I welcome you all to here. This conference, this roundtable is going to be taken care by Bonnie Thurber from USA, and therefore it's going to be moderated by her, and there are going to be 4 other teachers: Ryan Khan from Pakistan, Gail Greenberg from USA, Essen Sugamar Iyer from India, and Sharon Asami from Uganda. The roundtable is going to be on the project Moon Over Us. It's the 10th year celebration. This project promotes the observation of moon by students on different continents. So I think Bonnie is still on the call. So Ryan and the group might want to start. Okay, great. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, nice to see you. So I just put this all together on a Padlet. Padlet is what I've been using this year, and it seems to be very flexible and very easy. So I'm going to share the Padlet. Okay. Now let's see. Share screen. Host disabled, participant sharing. Somebody needs to enable my sharing, please.
It's Eduardo, please.
What?
Eduardo, we will allow you.
You have to disconnect everyone?
No.
Okay.
I think Eduardo will give you access.
Okay. Eduardo.
Yeah, you should be able now.
So I think, Bonnie, we have almost about 45 minutes, and then if you want to leave some time for discussions, or how do you want to go about it, Bonnie?
I don't know. Let's see how it plays out.
Okay, great.
Okay. You can tell me when we have that time.
You should be able now, Bonnie.
Okay. So I'm going to share screen. And I'm going to click on this screen. You know, Padlet was very easy to use this year, and kids could post their own stuff. So I have sort of a lineup of different presenters, and I'm going to start. This is a slideshow I did about 10 years ago that shows Moon Over Us. And as I scroll down, you can see that the people who were players the first year were Bonnie Thurber, Hong Fong Go, Paula Britanis, Gustavo Reyes, Teresa Allen, Gloria Janoschek, Karen Landeroff, and Katrina Lynch. I think the first, my name, Hong Fong's name, Paulo, is now a famous astronomy leader. Gustavo is now a leader in GHOU. So this person is now in charge of the Catholic Archdiocese training. I've lost touch of Gloria. Karen is still teaching, and Katrina is still teaching. So first thing is a poem. The moon is so bright, it lights up the sky along with the stars. The sky shines from Earth. It looks like a dot, but near the moon, you can see it takes a lot. To me, it looks like a gem. So that was from a student from Romeoville. By the way, these students are ages 9 through 14. So these are some comments about the project. I'm going to let you read them. Stellan is from Sweden, Yang El is from China. And I'm going to go through this very fast because I don't want to take up everybody else's talking time. So here, this is what we have done. We've always had a survey about the moon. We've taken digital pictures of the moon. We research and compare moon phases. And each student creates, in this case, we moved from a web page to a Padlet page, share poetry, dialogue, comments, discussion and reflection. This is a picture of Hong Kong. We had 2 Brazilian schools, 5 Chinese schools, and 10 USA schools, ages 9 through 16, 600 students. This was the first year. Teachers met on Skype. Raise your hand if you know what Skype is. Okay. We used, actually, I had a bunch of Galileo scopes. And so we sent these out to people. I charged $25 for sending them out. And then some people had very nice cameras and some people had web cameras. These are variations of the project. The first year, the teacher said, what are we going to do for the rest of the year? So we put together more versions of this project. This is the Brazilian moon. Gustavo, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Would you like to read this in Brazil?
Okay, the images
In
below.
Portuguese.
Yes, but in Portuguese I want to translate.
Read it in Portuguese.
Ok, as imagens abaixo foram tiradas pelo aluno Roberto Hércules. Ele fotografou a Lua durante 3 dias, do dia 12 de setembro ao dia 14 de setembro, em um horário entre 20 e 22 horas no horário de Brasília. And that says that was taken by a student during 3 days, that it was in November 2011.
Okay, so this was done, really, we had students doing this in their own language. It was translated into Spanish, Chinese, and English. Okay, if I go on, you can read just dialogue. We had, under each of the pictures, we had a dialogue of the images. So you can see various people making comments. This is the Chinese moon. Hi, friends. Do you see these 4 pictures about the moon? They look the same, but they are different. On the first day at 8 p.m., the moon is full just above the roof of the Beijing Convention Center. On the second day, when the full moon climbs to the same place, it is 9 p.m. When it climbs the next 2 days, it's 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. But why? Because the moon is lazy. It gets up about 1 hour later each day. And I'm sorry, I can't read the Chinese. So this is Fred's moon. It was taken by his father. And then here are more comments from people from various places. You notice, do you have a telescope to look at the stars? That was actually directed toward one of the people in Brazil. So this is McHenry School, and these are some pictures taken by McHenry School. We used whatever cameras they had. So this talks about how to attach a webcam to a telescope. And so there were some people who attached a webcam to their digital telescope, so they got a better, they got the moon traveling through the sky. This is the telescope from Shiloh School. And Shiloh School is a very small town in the center of Illinois. I think this teacher had the largest class, which was probably 12 students. As we move through this, you can see the moon from Shiloh School on April 13th, April 17th, and April 15th with Venus. So now as we go to the moon over Sao Carlos, Brazil, we see again the moon with Venus on April 25th. And so the big question was, what were the differences? Why were there major differences from the moon in Brazil and the moon in the USA? Where is Brazil? Where is the USA? So at the end of the project, we all took a survey. And then I encouraged the students who could read English to read this book. This is the basic stuff about the project. This is the project on Space Edge Academy. And I used the picture from Fred, but I wanted to show you. Whoops, this doesn't have them. Okay, this is the project from Space Edge Academy that we used this year as a guide for the teachers. And now, let's see if I go back. Oh. So Moon Over Us, we have home pages in Padlet. Every teacher made a home page for his school or her school. And I'm just scrolling down here to give you an idea of the participation. Oh, this is the list of the projects, okay? So this is showing us, I actually linked every school in here so you can see Moon Over Us 2021, 2016, 2015, 2013, 2011, 12, 11, 12, and 11, 12 was when it started, and then various dates that we did the project. Now, I've talked enough about this, I think. So I have Gustavo's name here. Did you find any pictures you wanted to show?
Yes, I accessed my archive here, and I found some pictures. You already showed some of them, so
yes.
it was a good thing to remember, right?
Yes.
Those days. It was 10 years ago. It was the first year of the project. So I will ask you to stop sharing so I can share my screen for a brief moment. So this was a project that was run in São Carlos, which is a city in the state of São Paulo in Brazil, where I used to work at the Federal University of São Carlos. And there I coordinated an astronomy group, and I had many students who were being trained to be physics teachers, and they had to carry preparatory work in schools, like teaching assistants. So one of the students decided to carry the Moon Over Us project in the school that he was teaching assistant. And we had these pictures. I took the telescope to the school that evening, and these are his students. Was a night, an evening class, so older students and also younger students. This was on the outskirts of São Carlos in a rural town. It was somewhat chilly night for Brazilian standards, so you see the young people with coats, not a common sight in Brazil, observing the moon. This is one of the pictures of the moon. It was almost full moon, I think, or a waxing crescent. And below, I think, just below the tree on the right side, I think is Venus, close to the horizon. This is another shot. So it was not the best location for observing the sky because there was a lot of artificial light, but it was inside the school, and that's a plus, especially at night. People don't want to go outside of the school, so we took a small telescope there to show them the moon, and also the students during the following weeks, they could also register the moon with their own cameras. So those are the pictures that I found in my archive. I'm sure Bonnie has many others. And comment was that 10 years ago, cell phones were not that common. The cameras were pretty crappy, not a good quality of cell phone cameras like we have today. So, and also it was not everybody had, a cell phone with camera was just a basic telephone at that time. So if we had this same event today, I think all the students would like to take pictures of the moon with their own cell phones and the eyepiece of the telescope. Today, I think it's much easier because everyone has access to these devices, and they can get several outstanding pictures of the moon, actually, if they have a telephone and a small telescope. So that was the beginning, right, Bonnie?
Great. I would actually like to see you and some students again. I think it would be fantastic. Okay, so I'm going back to my screen. We did some observing this last session with NASA. So I have the NASA telescope. I have, and then we also did a lot of things on craters. Miss Virginia, Vicki cannot be here today, so I am going to pass her over, and let's go to GHOU, okay? The moon over us, Pan-India. So, GHOU, are you here?
Good evening. Vanakkam.
Yes.
Namaskar. Namaskar. And I am Sugumar, S.N. Sugumar. Under the guidance of Boni ma'am, I've started this project in Bombay. I'm living in the campus of Tata Institute of Social Sciences. And we have kids, 4 or 5 kids are there who have joined with me in bringing out this program. And they have been doing it since last 2 sessions we did. And they are, I can just tell the name. This is Master Ahang. This is Master Swami, Miss Siddhi, Miss Tanya, Miss Ananya, and then down here is Master Soham. These are the 6 people, kids who have been doing this program with us. And last April, we decided to go for one drawing competition among these kids, and Soham, Swami, and Siddhi joined me, and they started drawing the moon, and they have their own story also. And these photographs they were taking from their mobile, and sometimes they used to get it taken by me or by their parents on the DSLR, and I used to process them and show it to them, and I have added them here. And this I can show you. These are the crescents we have taken, and I have processed it. But then you might find the different colors of the moon. It is only to differentiate the warm and cooler moon, nothing else, but only the color difference is there.
Okay.
And I have conducted a drawing competition for the kids. I think if I'm allowed to share the video, I'll play it here.
Yes, where did the video go?
Okay, Eduardo, you need to allow him to share the screen, please.
I actually gave you the screen.
Yeah. But I cannot move it because you are the controller of the screen. And these are the this is the competition I have conducted for these kids. So they have drawn it, and there is a video they explaining about the way they looked at the moon. So that I wanted to show here.
Okay, I'm looking for it.
It is not there because the Padlet cannot have it because it is some 230 odd MB.
But didn't you post a link to it on Padlet?
Yeah, it is not there. I have only posted a small one. I'll play it here. If you give me the permission to play the video.
Okay, can you share your screen?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Can you all see this?
It's coming.
1 second. I'll stop sharing. I have to select the
audio.
Audio. Share audio. Okay. Right. It's visible now, the video, and I'll play it.
Yes, it's
Okay. You need to turn the volume down slightly.
Hi, good evening, everybody. This our kids from Pan India.
It's too loud.
Pan India, April 2021. Kids are drawing. First drawing, they are imagining what moon will look like in their imagination, and they are drawing. The girl on the left side is Siddhi. The guy in the middle is Swami. And then the guy who is looking down at the phone and trying to copy, he is Sohan. Okay, they are going to draw. I'll take a video snaps and then I'll post both this video as well as the snaps. Thank you. What do you want? Tell.
I have drawn the Moon Princess, and the story is in the earth there was a small family in a bigger hut, and there was one person, and he got to bring woods. And that time when he goes to bring woods, that time he sees a bamboo, and in the middle of the bamboo, one bamboo stick is very shining. And he can't see the thing, and suddenly it becomes small, and the light becomes small. And he goes and try to cut it, and he brings it back to home. And when he tries to open, there is a small baby, and it becomes big, and they think that is their baby. And then after a few years, when she becomes adult, that time from moon, very shining light comes, and two people come with with horse, and they come and take the Moon Princess, and all of them try to stop them, don't take it like that.
Okay, good. It's a real story. Wow. Where did you read?
In Japan,
They believe like this in Japan?
yes,
Who told you that?
in my school, we read stories.
Uh-huh.
Then I read it in a book.
Okay, good. What is your story, Siddhi?
It is a story. Stars. It's half moon. And this is a world of moon.
World of Moon.
Yeah. And on this moon, there's a swing.
Where is? Swing. Oh.
And on this swing, I have a dream that I am going to sit on this swing.
Swing and swing. Huh? Wow. Okay, good. So Siddhi wants to go to moon and swing, right? Good. And you, Swami?
I want to see the real princess.
Oh, you want to see the real princess there on the moon? Wow. Good. What have you drawn? What do you think?
On some scenery of moon, and a girl wants to swing, but her brother wants to go home and take her home. Then he's showing that this bunny, that she is frightened of that bunnies.
Oh.
So he's telling that there is a bunny on the moon that will come and bite you.
Oh no. So the brother is frightening the girl.
Yes.
Oh, is it correct? Is it good?
It's not good, but
Okay.
it's night time.
Okay, okay. Right. Thank you.
Let's see. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now, Emrit, would you like to share yours, please?
Sure. Is my screen visible to you all?
Can you just bring up your screen?
Yeah. Is my screen visible to you? Yes, it's coming up.
Oh. Okay, thank you.
So actually, first of all, I extend my thanks to Vani ma'am and the entire project Moon Over Us 2021 for giving the opportunity to all the kids. And these are basically a combination of mobilography as well as the can say DSLR photography as well from the different portions. And I just would like to begin with this famous moonrise photograph that was being taken by kids in my neighborhood, and they were being presented to me on the occasion of the Guru Purnima, the day in which we revere the teachers. The logic of presenting this is because under this project, the students, especially the kids, what they got to know was their love with the moon, the different phases, and all those things. And of course, this was another taken by another kid, and he just jokingly called it as a pulsar moon. It gives just like what we see radio pulsars in the images. And what is the peculiarity with these two pictures? Basically the kids, they got to know how the moon also shifts with the timing, with the passage. That is, as the sun is having the north to south movement, the same movement goes here. And yes, of course, one of the kids who presented to me, Divya, jokingly, she called it as a cashew nut moon, as if it was resembling a cashew nut. And then when it was there, then her brother also spotted the moon from the mobile and took it from the Gorakhpur. And then after all, there are a few mythological stories that are associated in the Indian context with the moon also. And there are 27 lunar mansions in Indian, you can say, astronomical pattern also. And they have been clubbed in the form of the 27 vibes of moon, with which the moon does hold the occultations time and again. So this entire story has been written by that particular kid, presented to me by Radha, and I have presented here. And yes, of course, the famous, again, the moon, it does the waxing and the waning and all those things. They are being presented by the curves of Lord Ganesha. This entire story is here. And yes, in between a few of the kids, they have also given to me the sublime sunset also. These have been the mobilography and then the different parts. And yes, we have also been doing with the kids where the telescope photography, you can see the occultation that happened. And so these were kids somewhere around in the secondary age. And since at that time, the pandemic was, you can say, at the peak, the second wave. So we did the webcasting and all those things with proper social distancing. So it was basically the kids were watching from their place, and I was doing that live on. And yes, of course, the story should continue with the passage of time. There is a famous story by a famous Indian author, Ruskin Bond. And yes, of course, on the Jataka tales, that there resides the shape of a hair in the moon. So this has also been shared by one of the end. And yes, as you can see, this is how the kids, and the people, the associates, they are drawing and they are teaching the moon as well as the different pointer stars. And you can also see these are the signposts in the sky, not only the moon, how that is the invertence of the moon. It has helped the people to identify the different stars. And these all are the works that are of the kids by the age of, say, below the age of 15 and all. And yes, of course, under the guidance of their parents. The parents have become, you can say, more interested. Previously, who did not used to, they used to say early to bed and early to rise makes men healthy, wealthy, and wise. So they have fell in love with this moon and the different phases. And yes, of course, and astronomy and this moon over us project has served as the best antidepressant during the time of the COVID pandemic. All the credit goes to this entire Moon Over Us project as well as Vani. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I am stopping the sharing of my screen.
Thank you very much. Now, I am going to let's see, I want to show you Gail's page. Gail was not able to come today because her school has started. She actually has real kids in a real classroom. So if I share this page, and Gail is from District 128. Now, Gail also did this project 10 years ago. I looked it up and I thought, wow, she was here 10 years ago. Gail is a teacher that I remember she did a presentation about with me in about 2007. And her kids knew what to do with technology, but she didn't. I remember we got her PowerPoint slideshow open and she had me stand next to her and push the button to change the slides. So that's the way I met Gail. I was up there holding her hand, but this time, this was a poetry class. Kids were writing poetry, but she really excelled in getting them to learn more about the moon. This is the wolf moon. She went through different names for the full moon. The kids found different images. This drawing is an astronaut on the moon. Her kids are 9 and 10. She actually, the daughter of the moon and the sun, these were stories written by the kids. This is all on the web, so I'm not going to read things to you. I'm just going to let you have a look. She had one student, here's, the moon is Navajo's volleyball. Navajos are an indigenous people in the United States. And then she had one student go to San Diego. And so while he was there, of course, he took pictures of the moon. And this is looking from an island in San Diego over to a moon, which he covered up. I guess it was this moon. And and then he talked a bit about the moon. Gail also wrote, they've written some very original poetry. And I also really enjoyed this image. I thought that the way it was framed by the tree was beautiful. So does anyone else have anything to say about Gail's work that was in the project? Okay, so I am going to click, let's see, to get back to the home page. I think this gets us back to the home page. And I am going to say one more thing about Lynn. Lynn was trying to get in, but she couldn't get in. This is Lynn's page. Lynn is a retired physics teacher. Before she was a physics teacher, she worked with NASA and she taught people how to use the arm, the mechanical arm on satellites so that they could repair the satellite. So she was our teacher for the moon over us, how it looks. And I wish I'd had these slides the first year. She also made stick figures so she could actually show people how this worked. And so this is her first slide. You can see in the US or in the Northern Hemisphere, this is what the full moon looks like. In the Southern Hemisphere, this is what the full moon looks like. As I move to the next page, you see more. This is the top, and this is the top. And then we have the bottom and the bottom. I noticed that she has a picture of the US. Let me go through the next slide. We also had a person from Uganda in this project. So we worked on the equator quite a bit. How does the moon look on the equator? Does it rise and set? Or is it in the same level and the world just turns so that it disappears? Does it go up? Actually, the sun also, does it make an arc? Or does it remain pretty much straight? And then as the world turns, it just disappears. So these are examples of the moon over the equator, the moon over the southern hemisphere, the moon over the southern hemisphere, and here's the northern hemisphere. And I have a number of pictures from India that are sort of similar to this as well. And then, of course, the northern hemisphere. So that was interesting. And then she said, left is the waxing moon seen after sunset at the equator. Right is the waning moon seen before sunrise at the equator. Okay, so I'm going to close this. I'll go back to our home page, and I'm going to ask Ryan, I'm saving you for last. So the person who did Open Space Foundation, can you share your page?
Ma'am, he is not there.
He is not here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan is there.
So who is here?
Ryan is there. Ryan Khan is there.
I'm here.
So Ryan, I will have you show your page, then I will close this. Let's see, quit share. And go ahead and share your page, please.
Okay, let me share my page.
If you want me to share it, I will. I know your internet connection was.
Okay, yes, it was a little unstable before. So it was pleasure working with Miss Boni, especially because during the whole process, a lot of people enjoyed Miss Boni's company and other educators from India. They all, we actually have a very good, what I say, friendship sort of working together with Sir Sugumar, especially. And all my students actually joined from different part of Pakistan, as well as because I'm teaching online with our school is online. So not only Pakistan, but from UAE, also students joined from during this Moon Over Us activity. In this activity, they learned about how to do image processing, as well as during this whole project, they also learned about the phases of moon. Using some digital tools, especially using Canva as a tool to illustrate all these important, for example, how the phases of moon look like, how they appear, especially when we were working on the last topic, that how moon look in northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. That was very important message for all of us to understand that that how moon appear differently in different regions, especially. So they use also mobile phone for photography, as you can see over here, as well as they made some special thank you message in a form of video over here. So there are some videos that Miss Boni can share. So they made some videos for Miss Boni, especially to celebrate Moon Over Us activity. There were almost 10 students, almost their age group was 9 to 14, and from grade 5 till 7, they were participating. And overall, their experience, the first thing, what they enjoyed was now the learning is becoming more easier as we all are connected through this space-based technology right now. So they are enjoying and understanding how and why this astronomy education is so important for us these days. they wrote some interesting stories about their own during this whole project. There is one story over here. When the universe misunderstood Isa, that's the student name, and the other, let me show you some other things. They use some infographics, especially using how to search on Google. That's very important to when we are learning about digital tools. So it's important to understand how they can search all these information accurately. So they figured out some important infographics related to phases of moon, and some students actually were more creative and they actually wrote a poetry over here. So I would like to thank Ms. Boni for providing this platform, especially, and all the other educators, teachers from India, because we now are more friends, like Sir Sugumar especially, and Amritsar. So that's it. If you like to share the video, we can share that video as well.
Go ahead.
I think you should, if you can share that video, because my internet is a little slow right now.
Okay, I will then in a few minutes. Is there anyone else here? I have, I'm looking for one more. There was one more person who was going to be here and share, I think.
Is it Sharon from Uganda?
No, she could not be here either. So Uganda leaders. I have so many Padlets.
Okay, let me try myself, and maybe it is easier.
Boni ma'am, you are talking about Sellakumar?
Yes.
You are talking about Sellakumar. Let me find out if he is available, because I also saw him writing on our page.
Okay, then I have one more. Hong Feng Go sent a slideshow, and right now I'm looking for her page.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm gonna share this video right now. I hope it will play. So here are some videos over here. They made it using Canva as a tool. I hope it will work.
Ranjir, at the moment, Bonnie ma'am is sharing the screen, so you won't be able to.
Okay, I found my page. So I will go back to sharing this screen, and then I will share your video in a few moments. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Hong Feng Go from China very much wanted to be involved in this. And so she sent me one of her PowerPoint slideshows, and I need to go back, stop share, and now share, and turn on the shared sound and video. Okay, now I can share. And so Hong Feng has been doing this project for many years, and she has some amazing things she does with kids. So we'll see if this will come in. So this is her Moon Over Us in China. And this is her son, who's doing many things also. Let's see. It should start playing eventually.
We often instruct our children to observe the moon in the initial astronomy class. We use animation to demonstrate the daily changes of the moon phases. The missing part of the moon changes day by day on the circle. We teach students draw a circle with a coin and then draw the appearance and the missing every day, so students can understand the law of the moon phase change. We guide students to paint the table tennis ball dark in the one side and bright in the other side, and then turn it to see different faces like the moon face. We design an experiment to simulate the phase change of the moon. Draw a big circle on the ground as the orbit of the moon. Paint 30 balls, half black and half white, as the moon. Put them on the simulation orbit at the equal distance. Students who sit in the center can see all the phases of the moon. We instruct our children to observe the moon every day and record the appearance and the position of the moon. Here is an example of how we teach the moon phase. Many children grow up in a city and know little about the phases of the moon. In this classroom, we arranged 15 children in a semicircle face the window. One child stands in the center, representing observing the moon from the earth. He will see the phases of the moon from the first day to the 5th day of the lunar month on the faces of the 15 children. He will immediately understand the reason why the moon is round and missing, and what the phases of the moon look like every day.
When I was in Beijing, there was so much pollution that you could never see the sun. On a good day, you could see a white, sort of a white shadow coming through the pollution. But when she said her kids need to do this because they never see the moon, I didn't know what that was about. And then I went there, and it's true. They never.
We also engage students to paint their record of the moon observations. This students' painting has been demonstrated on the internet. The shapes of the faces of the moon are different at the different latitude of the Earth. The moon in the northern hemisphere is positive C. Look at the moon in the southern hemisphere is anti-C. This is Test 2070 Earth Science Olympiad. Test better students understand the difference between the phases of the moon in the northern and southern hemispheres. Our students went to Australia and photographed to the phase of the moon they saw there. Many students don't understand why the moon always one side faces the earth. We designed an animation to illustrate the way of the moon moving around the earth. Taking pictures with the camera, we can see that the detailed position of the moon surface changes, indicating that the moon moves a little shaky, so we can see 59% of the lunar surface. 2020 is a special year because of the pandemic. Most of us use network teaching, and students can take online lessons at home. We also do some live network lectures facing the whole country. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, so that was Hong Fong's presentation. And it was very amazing just to have her put that together and send it to me. We actually have been working together. We met in GHOU and started putting projects together. So we've had a number of projects that we've done between the US and China. Now, I think I'm going to play Ryan's video, which I'm going back to the home page. Ryan has his students. Is there anyone I have missed, by the way?
Yeah, there are not others. Others are not there. They could not get connected.
All right, so I need to find Ryan's page. But I think it's down here. Yes. His story, his student wrote a story that was, I think it was 12 pages long. It was pretty amazing. And we could read student work, but I think I like this. So, oh, here's a poem. Ryan, would you like to read this poem?
Excuse me,
Except
share the
maybe
screen.
I should share my screen, yes. I get excited and then I forget to share my screen. Okay. So Gail inspired us all to not only take pictures of the moon, analyze the moon, but also write stories and poems about the moon. So Ryan, would you read this, please?
Sure. So this poem is written by Zahra from class 5, and she used all her creativity in this poem. Talk in the moon or talk to the moon or even the light. Both will tell you it's okay to disappear when things don't go right. But it's important to come back and spread your light. Every day it's comes to alive and let it shine. So this is the small poem. She also learned how to synchronize all these words when you write any poem. So apart from that, they all were enjoying this whole activity when they were learning about the phases of moon. And the best part, when we talk about space and astronomy, that space is for all and astronomy is for all, the real experience, they got it when they get a chance to meet all people from different part of the world coming together, talking about the same sort of thing. Astronomy is connecting all of us together. Like meeting with people from India, especially, they were very excited. All my students were very excited to meet Sir Sugumar. That they enjoyed the company. Even I invited today that they should participate, but it's very late at night. So thank you for this great initiative. Yes.
So actually, it was very nice that students could attend the classes with the teacher. We didn't have everyone's students because of the time. And I was really, really pleased to have them come and share their work and actually sometimes teach the teacher. Was this the video by Murtaza? I think so. So, of course, Ryan had everyone do a thank you video for me. That was not the right video, or did it stop? No. Okay. But I think this is a nice video just to say thank you. And I will say thank you for your work. I was
Thank you so
really
much.
quite
Thank
amazed.
you.
Now I can't get out of the video. I guess if I do
Bonnie,
this.
we are almost like 5 minutes away from the closing time. So we want the participants to interact over this particular program if there's, or do you have something more to share?
I think there's one more page, but I think if you want to ask questions and talk about this, that would be fine.
So I think if any of the participants want to ask some questions or anything, please feel free, or else then Bonnie can share one more page if there are no specific questions. I think, Bonnie, I'm just seeing a lot of beautiful comments from the group. So I think there's some few 3 minutes with us, and then we can conclude the session. There's also Rosa who has switched on her camera.
Yeah,
so I
no,
think she would like to see it.
I just would like to say a few words because I saw the project being born when the first time Bonnie and Hongfeng was discussing how to do this, and the results that Bonnie were showing shows clearly the dedication of everyone that participated in the project, and especially her personal dedication, which I totally admire. So congratulations to everyone. It's really, really very nice result. And I hope that you guys have the effort to put it all together and publish it somewhere in a format that other people can follow your footsteps. Even if they don't know you, even if they never talk to you, they can reproduce that and maybe create a new trend around the globe. It's a very nice project. As I said, I saw it born, and seeing as it grew through these 10 years, I think everyone should be congratulated for it. Very, very nice.
I think the beginning of this was in Morocco, our first presentation. Is that right?
No, I don't think so. I think I saw you discussing this with Hongfeng before Morocco.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. The first workshop in Morocco. So are there any other comments, thoughts? The people from my group usually have lots of comments and thoughts, and I have not met everybody here, so it's nice to see new faces.
Bonnie, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
First, I would say that this is a beautiful concept, and I really love the concept of involving art in it, poetry in it, observations, and it has so much of dimension around. So, and having different people from across the world. I just had a question that how many countries are currently participating in this particular program currently?
Well, we had India, Pakistan, Australia, someone from Chile, the US, Uganda, no one from Europe. So actually it would be nice to have someone from Europe. I would also like to have more Southern Hemisphere people involved so that we see a real contrast in the pictures of the moon. We'll be running it again in September, and I'm hoping all of my past pupils will be there, all of the teachers and their students. You'll have new groups of students, I'm assuming, so that will be fun. You know, it's sort of twisted the way the teachers and students took it. I have several examples. I have one very good story from actually Nepal. Actually, it's a Hindu talking to us about, Romania. Yes, Bianca, please join. And I also have, let's see, I don't know. There's one page that I didn't show you. Hi, Bianca. Okay. But what I do is we meet on Saturday. So, to begin with, I had 2 times. One was 8 o'clock at night and one was what was the first time? I think it was 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:15 in the morning. So go ahead.
7:30 Indian Standard Time in the morning.
Okay.
Yes.
His early morning. Actually, Sugamar came to both classes. So I thought, do you sleep ever? But I think it was very rewarding to have him be the one that brought the things from the first class to the second class and back. So that was pretty wonderful. So September we'll be starting, and we will be on Zoom. My address, I'll put in the chat. So I would like you, if you want to participate, and I find it as rewarding to me as to others in this. I really enjoy working with you and your students and seeing what your students come up with. And I remember sometimes it got very static. We all wanted to use different specific things. And sometimes it was very flexible. The piece, one of the sections I have from Nepal, actually the students did exactly what I said. Let me see if I can find it.
Gustavo, this might be the last session, so is it okay if we stretch down for 2-3 minutes, or
yeah,
do we have
no problem.
Okay, great.
Okay, let me see. Where is this? Well, I guess I'll come to Pan India's page again. So, and then all these pages have links back to the home page. So that's one of the first things you learn is how to get back to the home page. And you learn that it picks any image up, not just the one you want to use, but you can see we've got different images from everyone. This, where is it? Nepal. One of the assignments I made was to create a collage or a video about your images. Well, in Nepal, actually, I said I want the student name, the location, the latitude and longitude, and the type of moon. So I actually got exactly that. Then you can see different people commented on the images, talked about them, but this group of kids in Nepal did a great job of getting the latitude, the longitude, the name of the moon, the time the picture was taken, and the location, and then their names. So, and you can see that they've got 2 different links to Ryan's Cosmic Laboratory. They have a link to the USA Padlet here. So essentially, you need to know, we learn how to make a Padlet. We learn how to link Padlets, and you're just required to have a digital camera, a digital phone, that camera. There are ways of setting it so the moon pictures are a bit clearer. But it's nice if you have access to a telescope. In the end, we went to NASA's telescope and used that to take pristine images. But this is what these kids came up with as their animation for the moon. So you can see the whole cycle of the moon. It probably could be slowed down a little bit so it was clearer, but I thought that was pretty fun. Let me go back. Or this took us to Ryan's page. And the kids have photos of the moon at Harvard's telescope, the micro telescope. They actually have one telescope that you can set for a 2-second exposure so you can get a good picture image of the moon. Then I talked about FITS files. They uploaded their FITS files, which I wanted them to do, just to see what it would look like. And then they took their FITS files and opened them in JS9 and could see their moon images. I was actually very, very proud and very pleased with what came out of this project this year. So where's the link back? This is back to the District 128, which is Gail's page. And I really enjoyed the fact that she had her kids studying the different phases of the moon, which is Arnett, right? Has his students looking at the full moon and the names of the shapes and different colors. But Gail went into these names, had her kids do some very good studies. So instead of just starting with the typical picture of the moon with its moon phases, we explored all kinds of things. The sun, wind, and the moon is, in Indian culture, there's a story that's called Sun, Wind, and Moon. Everything in here is open to the world. So you might want to take a look at some of these, especially if you do a unit on the moon in your classes. Okay, I'm going to stop the share. And are there any more comments or questions?
So I have last question, Bonnie, from my side. How people just have to write to and they can join in this group, right?
Yeah, people write to me and I send them directions. I have them join a Moodle course, so I have them organize. The Moodle course, Vicky is one of the people that couldn't come today. She sent me a note that said she had a meeting right at the time of this session. And I just said, join the course. The course has the beginning information in it. And well, the course has all the information in it. And then I have your names and addresses. So you need to create an account on Moodle that has this course. And I actually have this course on 5 different Moodles. So I sort of decide which one I want to run the course on. So when you send me the email, I send you the URL for the course and you need to click enroll. And teachers have to fill out a form that really lets me know who they are and why they want to be there. And if there's any question, I call them on the phone or call their school. And I do this with people all over the world. And if it isn't valid, or if the school says, no, that person doesn't work here, and I can't find another way of contacting them, I send them email that says, I'm sorry, you need to send me a more valid information. And actually, Kevin Govinder was trying to get in as a high school student, and I sort of guessed by the information who it was, but he didn't tell the truth. So I called him on the phone and asked him, and he went back and filled in. It was very, very funny. He wanted to see one of the projects that IAU had funded. So that, anyway, we go on from there. It's fun. It's a good way to get things. I think it's a good way to get a group of people to know each other. And Sugamar would like to say a few more things, I think.
Yeah, it's a good program.
I think we are running short of time. We are already over time by 10 minutes. So I think we might have to compress it down. I see Gustavo constantly staring at me.
I see Rosa has already gone to sleep. So this is good.
I am here.
Oh, okay.
Gustavo, what should we do? Should we conclude
5 more minutes.
Okay.
Or we actually can finish now, and you can send me notes on WhatsApp. And if you want to join the project, we also use WhatsApp for communication. So I think we get to know each other pretty well through WhatsApp and through Zoom meetings. So that's really been the great part of this pandemic, is that everybody is using WhatsApp and Zoom. And I love Ryan's smile there. It is really, I think this pandemic has really been wonderful for international education. Sorry about that. I'm sorry people are not well and people have died, and it's not fun to stay in your house the entire time. I literally, when this started, just got in my bed and I think I caught up on a lot of sleep for the first 3 weeks. But okay. So
I think I can relate with what Amritanshu was saying, that it was a great opportunity for the students to explore the moon in the time of the pandemic. That's what he was talking during his presentation, and I can very much relate to it. And I think Bonnie, if you allow me to conclude, and Ryan, if you had something special to talk, if I can give you a minute, if you really want.
Sure. I would just like to say that this moon over us was more like a cultural exchange as well. Like, we got to know a lot of things about different culture through this moon over us activity. What other students are doing, especially they were curious to know what do they do in their classes, what activities they are performing. That was very important as well. Through this project, and when you go to Moon Over Us Padlets, it was like a maze game. Like, you go from Miss Gale Padlet to, then you jump into my Padlet, and then you figure out. So it was more like a maze game for students as well, to explore new students and teachers, educators around the world. So it was very good. Yes.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks a lot, Bonnie, for this wonderful roundtable. I think it was a very good way to celebrate the 10 years of your project. And I think best wishes to all the members associated. I would love to get my students with this project, so I would be surely contacting you. And thanks a lot, all the members who have been with us in this roundtable conference. Thanks to the sharing by Gustavo, Sugumar Iyer, Amritanshu, also about Gail and Lin, which Bonnie shared, and Ryan and Hong Fong, which you shared. I think it was a wonderful session. Thanks a lot, Bonnie, again for this beautiful idea.
Okay, thank you very much, and I'm glad we got to do this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.